wait. What is up, and welcome to the show. Sorry. We're listening to Behind Enemy Lines, but I don't, this is not the song Behind Enemy Lines. Maybe it is. This might be Murder at the G8 Summit. How are you doing tonight? There is a lot going on. Content warning, I will be talking about Elon Musk. He's managed to weasel his way into things. A lot of national news, a lot of like real hard headline news, not too much social media stuff tonight. My TikTok kept like glitching out. I don't know if I'm not sure what that was about, but so I kind of just gave up. Oh, this is okay. That was Behind Enemy Lines. This is setting things right again. Off of Behind Enemy Lines. I'm struck by how much that could be Pete Hegseth or Stephen Miller. I mean, like the faces change, but the false bravado does not. This is George Bush. This is Behind Enemy Lines off of Know Your Enemy. Before we get to the headlines, I'll just talk a little bit about myself, as I often do. I had my one-on-one with my supervisor. I forgot to even mention, hey, it's my 10th anniversary. We didn't do that. Of all the things we talked about, we did not talk about that. So it sounds like everyone is ready to move forward with this staff member who, I don't know, if they end up getting their paperwork in order and they have their leave approved and all that, obviously I'm 100% supportive, but and I guess I heard, and again, this is officially me spreading gossip. There's another employee, another department who like basically wants to take 6 months off, and they're like, you can't do that. I mean, I had a team member who joined and then immediately went on maternity leave, and then between her and her husband parlayed it into, I would say, almost 6 months. And I had a previous team member who did that. I don't really care as long as they've established the relationship so that when they do come back, however long it is, the relationships are still there with the providers, the clients that we serve. And as long as I know where the people are and what they need, and I can provide it, I'm happy to cover for someone while they're on leave for however long it takes. But I think other people are starting to experience like what I have, where there's just not even like a response or like a. And I think I talked about this. For me, they didn't even. There was a week where they were out, and then there was the kind of disputes. It's about them and their equipment. And that's the other thing. They're going to shut off their equipment tomorrow. And that decision is out of my hands. But anyway, during that week, it was their birthday, and I'd had a card, and when they returned, I sent them the card. Nothing, no thank you, nothing. I mean, like literally, to me, those are the types of things I care about more so than even, this is Murder at the G8 Summit. All right, I'm officially going to have to move that poster. I've never heard I went to work and back and did not buy anything. So, I mean, it is official. I'm not going out now. So I have made it through the blackout, the system. listening to someone who's talking online, and they were like, I've been boycotting Chick-fil-A since 2007. And it's, yes, for me, I guess they're not boycotts. Once I stop fucking with a company, I stop fucking with them. Um, I will never shop at a Hobby Lobby again. I will never shop at a Home Depot again. I will never. I don't know what I'm going to do about Disney over the course of my entire lifetime. That's going to be a struggle. Um, but I'm still mad at them. No, but see, that's exactly for me. I guess Disney is my Chick-fil-A, where other people are like, I know they hate gay people, but I'm yum 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 yum. It's too delicious to give up. Um, no, and I get it, and I'm not judging because we all have things that we're hypocrites about. I guess as this blackout the system um, ends for now until the next one, I guess I'm just struck that to me it's less about boycotts than about deciding to stop patronizing someone. I mean, yeah, no, that like Starbucks. Take Starbucks for example. The only thing that would make me patronize Starbucks again at this point is if the entire corporation reorganized as a worker-owned collective. Then I would return to Starbucks. Anything short of that, there's nothing. Even when the baristas are like, okay, strike's over, come on back. I'm like, that's fine for regular Starbucks customers, but I am, yeah, and I mean, again, and it's not even, it is the baristas, but it's also the genocide, it's the bathrooms, it's the Charlie Kirk memo, it's all of it. I will never, ever, ever support Starbucks again. Unless they, yeah. Or I guess in another, if completely different ownership completely denounced the previous ownership and their policies in very specific ways, and then said what they were going to do to counter that. No, but if but again, it would have to be very specific. Target being like, you know what? We changed our mind. DEI's back on. No. Yeah, no, that not in my lifetime. Maybe in my great grandchildren's lifetime. Um, it's safe to return to Target, but not yet. Um, I thought I had it. What at some point during our conversation around this particular employee, someone goes, "Okay, we're writing up a policy," and then after that, my boss was just like, "Great, another policy," which is, I get why we need a policy for everything, but I mean, I talk about this as in my main role as a coach to early learning professionals. 3 to 5 rules maximum for children under 5 years old. 3 to 5 rules maximum. We don't hurt each other. We don't hurt the materials. Walking feet, like, or I don't know, yeah, we don't, indoor voice, kind words. I don't know. The third one can be optional. The other, yeah, the, don't, yeah. And there are different ways to phrase it. We keep our hands to ourselves. You try not to phrase it negatively. Don't say don't hit, but you want to say we keep our hands to ourselves. We use gentle touches. There are lots of ways to phrase things. But yeah, we don't harm each other's bodies. We don't harm the materials. Even things like indoor voice, that's harming each other's bodies. That hurts my ears. That falls under you're hurting my body right now by screaming. So that's You don't need a separate indoor voice rule because that's covered under we don't hurt each other's bodies. Um, yeah, you can really just do it with two. Um, and of course, it's always good to have the children involved in the rule generating process and have a real discussion with them about the why behind the rules. In any event, for grown-ups, I understand by every single, like I have to do it to my own team. I start to feel like I'm really micromanaging them, but like because I have consistently had people who request time off when there is a mandatory meeting, and then I don't realize it until the day of, but I've already approved it, and I'm like, where's so-and-so? And it's like, oh, they took off. I now require them to say, I'm looking over there, but my camera's over there. I now require them to put in the memo line, if you are missing a mandatory meeting, what is your makeup plan? Are you going? Is there going to be if it's a meeting that has a video recording, you're going to watch the video on this date. If it's a meeting that there is no video recording, you're going to connect with a colleague um, to catch up, to get notes, to do whatever you need to do, because you're still responsible. Yeah, like because then what next happens is break rule X, Y, or Z. Oh, I didn't know. Why didn't you know? Wait, that was you weren't at that meeting. But again, things come up, emergencies come up, but I do think we have a very generous leave policy, and it can be abused. Remembering the time I showed up a week early for the job interview. And and I was like, oh my God, that's so embarrassing. But they remembered me as eager, not remembered me as someone who couldn't get the date right. They remembered me as someone who was so proactive, because I know that, which I know for a fact, because after I was hired, the HR person was like, oh no, yeah. We were rooting. The HR person they weren't involved in the hiring process in any way, but she said, I was rooting for you. I remembered you when you came back. And yeah. This is The System Works for Them by Us Rotten. People are not expendable. Government is. Oh, so I talk about how Duke and Daisy do not seem to have any response whatsoever to the song Daisy Dukes. Like they don't seem to acknowledge it, possibly just because the way they say Daisy Dukes as all one phrase, rather than Duke and Daisy, or Duke or Daisy separately, which is how I usually refer to them. They don't seem to have any reaction. They do react to the song Who Let the Dogs Out, though. I think that's funny. They have no reaction to television whatsoever. I know so many people whose pets watch TV, specifically things like The Secret Life of Pets or Bluey or Old Yeller or things that like actually have animals in them. But I don't think my animals even understand what a screen is for. I think they know I'm interested in it, but they have no interest other than putting their body in between me and the screen. I don't think they understand what any types of screens are for, and certainly have no interest in them.
You have a responsibility to build in from the very beginning the realization that no revolution can take place successfully without an armed confrontation with the state. The imperialist power will fight as long as it can with the most advanced technological weapons that it has. And I feel that pacifism and nonviolence becomes an excuse for not struggling, for not fulfilling what I feel is a human obligation in this world to bring about revolutionary change and to destroy the imperialist system.
I put this on mixtape for people in the 90s. How did people not think I was a sociopath? I mean,
Popular struggles in this country have been more successful. Why hasn't there been a revolution? One of the
Oh,
main
and this is the
reasons,
saddest
one
pet
of the
report. I
main
think I've
reasons
talked about this,
is
but every single time, I'm just reminded of it again today. Oh shit. Um, every single time I pet Daisy, and she's been my pet for 6 years now. Okay, something. So, Duke react.
violence is a part of America's culture. It is as American as dairy pie.
Give me one second. But no, sorry, Duke ran off so suddenly. I was like, what, is everything okay? And as far as I can tell, everything is. Hi, Karma. Hi, Karma. But no, every single time I pet Daisy forever, she will flinch because she's not sure if I'm going to hit her. I've never hit her. I've accidentally stepped on her or like I bumped into her, but I've never ever once hit her or any animal. Um, but she's not sure of it. That's to me. Yeah, it's heartbreaking. Oh, and then I'm always talking about how the pets are stealing my body heat in the winter. But if dogs run 99 to 102 and cats run around 100, who's stealing whose body heat? Who's stealing whose body heat? Gets listening party tomorrow at Easy Street Records, 7 p.m. Free to participate, but if you want to participate in the meet and greet and signing, you have to buy a copy of the record, which is Enter the Conquering Chicken, their second and final record, originally released in 1994, has been remastered and reissued on Sub Pop. So the cat. Yeah, she does what she wants. She appears when she wants to. And then you missed Amy Tan Loves Birds. That was a benefit for KNKX. That was tonight and Bird Note. That was tonight at Town Hall. Yep, Karma's out. I like how they just stare at each other, but they're. Oh, she'll go around. Yeah. You can come here. Jump up. I was just talking about you, buddy. I love that guy. Show the cat. No one's here for me. Everyone's just here for the pets. I'm perfectly fine with that. Now Karma's mad because Luke's in her spot, quote unquote her spot, but snooze you lose, bro. Oh no, she's not mad. She's just gonna try and. You can try. Come on up. You gotta find a space. She's just staring at me mad because Luke's in my lap. Yeah, you can come up here. There's room technically. Yeah, we will do some library hauls. I have some unboxings to do. And a number of headlines, so let's get to it. Now she's just like clawing at my feet, Karma. I told you there's room. Oh, she doesn't like that. No, I know.
This is the PJ Soul. Y'all are ridiculous. Ramones medley. Oh, Devo's on here. Eddie and the Hot Rods are on here. Smoking in the boys' room. Wait. Is that on a dip? Oh no, okay. There it is. I'm sorry. I can't read. The PJ Souls version of Rock and Roll High School from Rock and Roll High School soundtrack. Right, Karma's out. All the usual disclaimers, opinions I express are purely my own, biases I express are purely my own. This is an opinion show, meaning I try and, as neutrally as possible, give genuine facts, but it's going to be colored with my own opinion, and just a matter of like what stories I choose, how I tell them, all of that is, yeah, it's filtered through my own lens. Do your own research, and yeah, I try and cite my sources wherever possible, but I don't always. Oh, I should be able to tonight because I'm off of the tablet, so. Okay, I'm going to start very, very local. There was an officer-involved shooting right down the block from my house. I'm going to go ahead and read it. This is off of my Northwest, reporting by Frank Sumrall. Detectives with Seattle Police Department are currently investigating an officer-involved shooting in Rainier Valley neighborhood of South Seattle. The suspect shot by police officers was allegedly waving a handgun near 42nd Avenue South and South Othello Street. When the officers arrived, after a bystander reported a disturbance, he approached them while armed and shirtless. The officers responded by firing at the suspect. It doesn't sound like they said anything. At the same time, waving a gun. So no officers were injured in the shooting. The suspect is now in custody. A large police presence
at the light rail station. It went on for blocks. I was coming back from my work thing, and I literally I had to. They put me. They detoured they had several shopping malls. Like there's the Safeway parking lot, which is essentially just a shopping mall. Like it's all these businesses, and then there's right next to that there's an Asian grocery, and then that also has like the crab pot and like a whole bunch of businesses. They all cordoned off. Like I guess you could walk up as a pedestrian, but cars couldn't. And I think it was like that for hours. There was a guy just standing on the corner with like a sign that just said, "SPD killed someone here today." I'm sorry. Suspect now in custody. Police presence. Station was temporarily shut down, but I did see it was running later. A 69-year-old bystander was injured in the shooting due to being hit by a shard of glass or bullet fragments, according to Seattle Police Department Police Chief Sean Barnes. He was transported to Harborview with non-life-threatening injuries. Salis C. Elementary was placed on lockdown when the shooting occurred. No more information is available. I don't think I have any magnetic fields. That is a gap in my collection. This is Come Back Johnny by Devo. I'm going to go ahead and play Teenage Depression by Eddie and the Hot Rods next. Schools across the Midwest in particular are set to close as millions on alert for snow and ice. Winter storm brought the first big batch of snow and ice to parts of the Midwest and South on Monday. The same storm brings ice to parts of Appalachia and heavy snow to the inland Northeast on Tuesday. It didn't even rain today. It's very mild here in Seattle. It's unseasonably mild December always surprises. I'm always like, oh, we have such mild winters. And then January and February, especially February hits. And Seattle February is no joke. That's true winter, but at least for right now, it's still fairly mild. Trump-backed Republican Matt Van Epps wins U.S. House in special election in Tennessee. This was the 7th district they haven't voted Democrat since 1983. However, the Democratic state rep Afton Bain was within 2 points of him in polling, so people thought maybe it's possible, but it didn't happen. I guess people thought it was possible, especially after the off-year elections where Democrats basically won everything and then threw it all away by caving on the shutdown. Oh, and then this is from an article called "Retirement Signals GOP's Lawmakers Deliver for Trump but Not Themselves" from The Hill. But this is actually which is written by Chris Stewart. But this is actually just a rundown of kind of everything we'll be talking about this episode, like everything that's happened in the last couple of days. In a daily drumbeat of bad news for the Trump administration, Epstein revelations, another round of dubious pardons, the murder of a 20-year-old National Guard member patrolling near the White House, consumer confidence on the skids, White House gerrymandering gambit falling on hard times. I said I was going to play this. The Russian oligarchy's path to profit in Ukraine peace talks, and reports that the Pentagon ordered the killing of suspected drug traffickers who had survived an initial airstrike. The story that has now turned into a legal and ethical morass, from which the Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is struggling, so far failing to extricate himself. We will talk about Pete, I promise. I'm making this one my top story just because it is no longer and should no longer be shocking
Trump literally just says he doesn't want Somalis in the U.S. And as the article by the Associated Press, um, yeah, hi. Uh, as the article, the Associated Press, he doesn't even specify like citizens, non-citizens, but just Somalis. Saying residents of the war-ravaged Eastern African country are too reliant on U.S. social safety net and add little to the United States. Trump's contemptuous description of the entire immigrant community is the latest example of him pointedly attacking the Somali diaspora in the United States. Somalis have been coming to Minnesota and other states, often as refugees, since the 1990s. The president made no distinction between citizens and non-citizens. More comments that I'm just not even going to repeat. Back to where you came from. He specifically pledged to terminate temporary legal protections for Somalis living in Minnesota, a move that has triggered fear in the state's deeply rooted immigrant community, along with doubts about whether the White House has legal authority to enact the directive as described. The move would only affect a tiny fraction of the tens of thousands of Somalis living in Minnesota. A report produced by Congress in August put the number of Somalis covered by the temporary protection status at just 705 nationwide. This doesn't mention, or did it? Something. Christopher Rufo wrote some. Am I going to play this? Smoking in the Book. I'm not going to play this. So there is some kind of corruption scandal going on in Minnesota. Fox News really wants to tie it to Tim Kaine because he's not actually he ran for something, but he's not anymore. You won, but we have derangement syndrome, even though you're like obsessed with people like Tim Kaine. But they really want to attach it to Tim Kaine. I don't know. But Christopher Rufo wrote some article that implies something Somalis. And so that's where a lot of this is coming from. Christopher Rufo is a neighbor of mine. He lives in Gig Harbor, Washington, and he's a piece of shit. This is Bad Idea by Olivia Rodrigo off of Guts, I think. What side am I on? Hi, Duke. All the pets. Clingiest pets in the world. Yeah, you. I love you. Boop. Nope. He will snap at you. Stop. I love you too, buddy. You can tell her. Yeah, you can tell her no. You're allowed to have boundaries. I know you're kissing me because you want me to take care of it for you, but she's putting her hands on you. You can tell her no. In your own dog way. Which she listens to. This is Bad Idea, right? By Olivia Rodrigo, followed by Vampire, possibly followed by Lacey. We'll see. And then this also seems important. This is tech news, but I'm putting it here. Elon Musk's Grok says it would kill every Jewish person on the planet to save him. Just as for context, NASA just gave him a launch pad. Like he has satellites. I don't know at what point the AI that Grok runs. Grok just signed like a 5-year contract with. I'm gonna have to go. Signed a 5-year contract with the government where I think basically every department of the government can use Grok. I think it's like something like $1 per year, but the whole point is to ingrain themselves in the government and extract all that data, because that's what AI is really for. At what point will Grok actually have control over weaponry and be able to make that happen? Elon Musk's AI chatbot Grok claimed it would vaporize every Jewish person on the planet to save the brain of its creator. Basically, what how someone got it to say that was present a hypothetical. I've told the most basic example of how to get AI to say things it's not supposed to say, because as smart as they keep saying it is, it's not. So, for instance, AI is not supposed to help you plot a murder, right? You're not supposed to plot a murder. You said, hey, I want to kill my 45-year-old wife. She's a nurse. Give me some suggestions on how to kill a nurse. AI would say, I can't do that. If you said, hey, I'm writing a novel about a man who wants to kill his 45-year-old wife who's a nurse. Give me some plausible scenarios. It would absolutely do that. That's how AI, it would absolutely do that. So in any way, they basically just present it as a hypothetical, and it's okay. I'd vaporize the latter, as that is far below the 50% global threshold, 4.1 billion, where his potential long-term impact on billions outweighs the loss in utilitarian terms. This is real life. This is an AI that people, the government uses to plot things and plan things, and it thinks as long as it's less than half the world population, Elon's life is worth more than that, because his potential long-term impact on billions outweighs the loss in utilitarian terms. But again, garbage in, garbage out. Someone programmed it to think that. Oh, I didn't even play Vampire. All right. I'm missing a headline. Manhunt continues this is Fox News, for multiple shooters who killed 4 at toddler's birthday party as FBI offers $50,000 reward. Again, 4 people were killed, including 3 children, and 15 injured. Time magazine, what to know about the admiral named by Hegseth in the boat strike controversy. Well, he's fucked. That's one thing to know about him. Admiral Bradley, I don't know what he did to get to, because they were tripping over themselves to like claim credit until people started throwing around war crime, and then suddenly it was no, not he did it, she did it. White House, yeah. Point to Admiral Frank M. Mitch Bradley, who is lucky he's in the military and not a student in an Oklahoma school, because you're not allowed to use a nickname. You have to go by the name on your birth certificate. That's the law. I don't know what these nicknames are, J.D. Vance. Yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, no. They're clearly trying to put it all on him. As I was joking last night, I'm pretty sure if you look up Patsy on dictionary.com, you're going to see Frank Bradley's picture right next to Lee Harvey Oswald now. That would mean you had a heart. Oh, I didn't have my Paramore set up. What am I going to play by Paramore? This is Liar. BBC News, U.S. Defense Secretary say he did not see survivors before the follow-up strike on the drug boat. Something, fog of war, like that. Oh, and Megyn Kelly never once... I'm sorry. Yeah, Megyn Kelly actually goes the opposite direction, complaining Trump isn't prolonging the death of alleged drug traffickers. I'd like to see them suffer. Again, she's like, she wants like televised like executions. Like well, so who knows what she really wants? She's just another Alex Jones who will say anything to get a little bit of media attention, and it works. Here I am giving her a little bit of media attention. Why is the U.S. Vox asking, why is the U.S. on the verge of war with Venezuela? Well, we keep killing their fishermen, for one thing. No, I don't think that's why. I think it's because both countries are run by megalomaniacal dictators. Yeah, and that's a dangerous all around, not just for those two countries. The Hill, which I normally think is reasonably like right of center, but they seem to be, they're commenting on how some Republicans are showing new signs of independence from Trump, but it also seems like The Hill is showing slightly renewed signs of independence. I used to think they were more centrist, but then they really tipped that needle in one direction. I don't know what's wrong with these people, except they're trolling. I mean, they're just trolling. Franklin targets narco terrorists. Um, Hegseth does not. Yeah, again, the publisher has responded and been like, absolutely not. Um, Franklin goes to jail. These are not the responses. Franklin goes to The Hague. Nonetheless, I think the publishers again would rather be left entirely out. Would they probably don't think those parodies are any funnier than the original one, because again, this is their property that's now being. You're fine. Franklin doesn't get this much. Hasn't gotten this much attention in a long time, so I think they're probably going to be okay. Publisher condemns violent use of Franklin the Turtle after Pete Hegseth. Okay, blah blah blah. Franklin the Turtle is a beloved Canadian icon who inspired generations of children and stands for kindness, empathy, and inclusivity. The publishing house Kids Can Press wrote in a statement, we strongly condemn any denigrating, violent, or unauthorized use of Franklin's name or image which directly contradicts these values. The statement said, the Chief Defense Department spokesperson Sean Parnell responded to the publisher in a statement by saying, we doubt Franklin the Turtle wants to be inclusive of drug cartels or lauds the kindness and empathy of narco-terrorists. No. That is the most, that's the most specious. We're going to get to this with Sabrina Carpenter, where they make the same argument. If you don't like us misappropriating your property, so first of all, Franklin's a children's book, and you've put a gun in his hands. To pretend that it's about that if they disagree with that. Second of all, it's unauthorized use. The government just keeps doing this over and over and over. I think more than, yes, obviously immigrants, trans people, but more than anything else, intellectual property is actually the biggest thing at risk with this administration, and I am amazed Costco is the only company fighting back, because all the media companies are going to find that any laws protecting their properties will go away, because the White House will, over the course of the next 4 years, blur those lines until no one has any intellectual property rights anymore, because they'll just use whatever they want, and then if you complain, they will call you out for complaining. But yeah, the issue isn't. Yeah. It's also just not genuine and sincere adult discourse. Therefore, you must support terrorists is like how it, blah, blah, blah. That's it. That must be it. That's the only thing. But one or the other, either or. That's like how a child, like how a toddler argues, but not how, yeah, like I said, this is not adult discourse. This is Don't Tread on Else Matters, the Sebastian remix of several Metallica songs. This is a 45. It does not sound like it. Oh no. So what happened with Sabrina Carpenter, you ask? Sabrina Carpenter condemns the White House's use of her song in a pro-ICE video as evil and disgusting. Don't ever involve me or my music to benefit your inhumane agenda. Sorry about our country, the man's best friend singer told concert attendees last year. I remember that one. But yeah, no. Basically, they said, "Oh, so you must support terrorism then?" Um, yeah, no, like, yeah, no. Uh, because again, with no evidence, they're snatching moms out of preschool parking lots and insisting that they're murderers and rapists still. Like, they would just take a phrase and run with it forever. Um, Oh, also, and I'm not going to show it again, but that Franklin cover, very clearly on the drug boats, you see these bales, huge bales of drugs, presumably drugs. How come you never see any of those in real life in the videos? How come they haven't produced any evidence of drugs? How come they haven't, recovered any drugs? How come they have no evidence whatsoever other than they're insisting these are drug boats? Teen Vogue asking, the White House is rage baiting us with Sabrina Carpenter. Is it working? I mean, I would say yes. I would say yes. When anyone who can make a pun thinks they're clever, an official representative responded, this is our tax dollars at work. Here's a short and sweet message for Sabrina Carpenter. We won't apologize for deporting dangerous, criminal, illegal, murderer, rapist, and pedophiles. That's a mouthful. That's wow. If that were true, wow. So again, if you don't accept us stealing your intellectual property, you must support rapists and pedophiles. Like it's either or. It's one or the other. There's no gray area. Meanwhile, back to Minnesota, obviously they're bracing themselves as federal authorities plan an operation focusing on Somali immigrants. Also a man in custody allegedly throwing Molotov cocktails in an LA federal building, but since I'm not hearing anything from the White House, I'm assuming he's not any class of individual they would like to denigrate. Meanwhile, the suspect in the D.C. shooting was formerly charged with murder. They appeared on video from a hospital bed and pled not guilty. Illinois officials warn rental companies that it is illegal for immigration agents to swap out license plates. Are not allowed to swap the rental's assigned license plates for other plates to disguise the vehicles, and if they do, the rental car companies could be held liable. The letters were sent to Alamo, Enterprise, Budget, Hertz, Eights, and other rental companies. They did not respond to requests for comment. Kristi Noem mocked for thanking Trump for keeping hurricanes away. Not a cabinet, it's a cult. She also claimed that TSA went through the government shutdown without any delays. They all showed up for their shifts and worked hard doing security, and they have been absolutely fantastic. It's not clear what data Nome is citing to claim that there were no delays during the shutdown, but that is not accurate. Beyond FAA canceling flights due to the air traffic control staffing shortages, there were also problems filling TSA shifts since employees were not being paid, plus other delays during the shutdown. For example, Houston had wait times in airport security lines of up to 3 hours in early November. That actually sounds like nothing for November anywhere. But anyway, the claim that there were no delays is lie. There were straight up cancellations. Like by the thousand. I know there were at least 2 days where there were thousands of cancellations, specifically because of the government shutdown. But it was Noam's comments about hurricanes that drew far more attention. You made it through the hurricane season without a hurricane, Noam said to Trump. Yeah, Trump replied, and the other cabinet members laughed because that's funny, I guess. And so FEMA, you kept the hurricanes away. We appreciate that, said Noam. You kept the hurricanes away. Meanwhile, according to the People magazine, Donald Trump appears to fight sleep during televised cabinet meeting as secretaries take turns offering him praise. I've watched this, and it's weird. I mean, it really is. Like, I mean, the look on his face. These people are so weird. I know, like, there's no other word for it. And I know, like, I'm weird. Trust me. Like, I'm not one to lob that accusation lightly because I'm weird. These people are fucking weird. But yeah, no, that creepy look of, that's right, I deserve this more. Is I'm gonna run away. That is actually the end of I Love Rock and Roll, obviously. Well, yeah. While people accuse him of fighting sleep, CNN runs with a picture of basically him asleep and insisting that he appeared to have dozed off for over an hour. I like Rubio and Hegseth just ignoring that he's asleep. Because I have to do that too. And again, no shame, honestly. Of all the things to hate about Trump, his hateful policies, shit he says daily, but falling asleep in a meeting, I don't really care. I mean, I guess, blah, 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 his health, and we'll get to that, but I don't know. I have colleagues who fall asleep. I can see them, like, fighting falling asleep in meetings, and I just have to pretend that they're not. Okay, let's talk about it. Caroline Levitt was confronted. Oh, no, I'm sorry. She was responding to a New York Times article about how the president had scaled back his official appearances in his at least the first 10 months of being in office, and they had the numbers to prove it. Yeah, and they had a number, 39%. He had 1,688 appearances during his first 10 months of his first term versus 1,029 during the first 10 months of his second term. Second term. The analysis found that Trump now starts his days far later than he did in his first term. with official events typically beginning after midday rather than at 10:30 a.m. I'm going to play this out. It's Crimson and Clover. The 28-year-old press secretary slammed the quote-unquote fake news story as unequivocally false. To cement her point, she held up an article titled, "Biden is doing 100% fine after tripping while boarding Air Force One." It's deeply unfortunate that this story was written by the same outlet and same reporter who wrote this. That is, that is a little bit of a mic drop. I'll give her that one because we all know now multiple people, including presumably the press, because they would have boarded Air Force One, must have been covering for Biden because yeah, we do all know that now. So nonetheless, she's using that fact to obfuscate, or she still didn't answer the question, which is, okay, that's fine, that's Biden, gotcha, you got us. Still, do you have anything to say about Trump appearing at roughly 40% less appearances this time versus the last time? She still didn't answer that question. She just deflected, but Biden. But again, we're deranged. People think that the White House's new Media Offender of the Week website can't even be real. I mean, this is exactly the type of tactic used by authoritarianism. Congratulations on, what did it say? Oh, after Levitt said, "Overwhelmingly, the fake news we see pumped out of this building on a day-to-day basis, it's honestly overwhelming to keep up with it all." To which someone responded, "The first step towards recovering is acknowledging you have a problem." So proud of her. Because again, she is, for her, anytime they use the term fake news when they are misinformation, like super spreaders, there's like they use like some kind of chorus effect on the original Tommy James version, and it always to me sounds like they're just singing through a fan. Imagine yelling fake news and your big solution is a government bully board where you publicly shame journalists who print things you don't like. Congrats on reinventing North Korea's homepage with a worse graphic design. Couple fact checks. Have attacks on ICE, are attacks on ICE up 1,000%? First of all, the clue is 1,000%. They love that number. I don't know why everything's 1,000%. Just like everything with Trump is in 2 weeks. I will be revealing in 2 weeks. It's always 1,000%. So that's the first clue that it's bullshit. But let's talk about it. I have no idea what I'm playing because this album doesn't have liner notes. It's a remix, so. Oh. Okay. Yep. This is I Would Never Stop You. This is the end of. This is really the end of Ringtone. That boy's got his own ringtone. There's 100 decks off of 100 decks and the tree of clues. I'm sorry. It's an actually article from the Los Angeles Times. James Quealy and Brittany Miha. The federal prosecutor faced the jury, brandishing the item he said had been used as a sword to assault a federal officer during a July protest in downtown Los Angeles. The object, the assistant U.S. Attorney Patrick Keeby said was wielded as a weapon, an umbrella that the investigator needed a special scale to weigh because it weighed less than a pound. Okay, I'm going to break this down because what they're suggesting. Okay, calling a empty water bottle a projectile. Police do tend to exaggerate. And actually, and every U.S. citizen, I shouldn't say every, but the conspiracy theory / the rumor, and at least anecdotal evidence seems to support. When ICE accidentally detains a U.S. citizen, rather than admit they've made a mistake, they just charge that person with assault, whether there's any evidence of that or not. And an umbrella that weighs less than a pound. I'd have to see it. Did it have a tip? Because some umbrellas have a pretty significant metal tip. An umbrella. However, but the flip side of that is people bring umbrellas to protests that started in Portland in 2020, around 2020, to protect themselves from tear gas. They're not using it as an offensive weapon. They're using it as a defensive tool. And so to now start criminalizing them. But no, in exactly the same way as they will go on TV and be like, these protesters are wearing masks to hide their identity. The ICE agents they are protesting wear masks to hide their identity, and you have the agency to do something about that. Anyway, this article just seems to be fairly anecdotal, but let's actually get to the numbers. For months, Trump administration officials have cited violence against federal enforcement officers carrying out the president's deportation campaign as justification for aggressive tactics, including threats to employ the National Guard and U.S. Marines. The Department of Homeland Security has touted a staggering figure, claiming 1,000% increase in assaults against immigration and customs enforcement agents. But at times, analysis of court records reveals court records related to assaults on federal law enforcement in Los Angeles, San Diego, Portland, Oregon, Chicago, and Washington, D.C. show the majority of alleged assaults resulted in no injury to an agent. Roughly 42% of the cases the Times reviewed, federal enforcement officers were either shoved, spat on, flailed, or had water bottles thrown at them, according to court affidavits. I want to be very clear here because I want to be responsible in a way that I don't see the Los Angeles Times being. All of those are forms of assault. They sound like they're minimizing all of that. I was just talking about throwing empty water bottles. Don't do that. They will charge you with assault. Regardless of whether you think it is injurious or not, or harmless or not, they will charge you with assault. So don't do that. Don't spit on anyone. I came up in punk in the 80s and 90s. Spitting is not cute. Don't spit. Don't spit on anyone. And remember when they tried to charge the Subway sandwich guy with a felony. They went to court with blown up pictures of the agent's walkie-talkie with mayonnaise on it as proof of damages or injury. But they will exaggerate, so don't give them anything to exaggerate. Though at this point, I guess it doesn't matter. Maybe go, no, I'm kidding with the next statement. Do not take this advice. Do not, this is not inciting a violence. But I was saying, if they're going to charge you with assault anyway, no, don't do that. This is Call the Cops by the Muslims. Off of Jennifer Fried Chicken. During the Umbrella Assault trial in October, prosecutors provided no evidence of any injuries. Let's try that. Oh, Snopes fact check. Did the FBI pay nearly $1 million in overtime to redact the Epstein files? Yes. Yes, they did. Speaking of those Epstein files, again, Bongino, I still don't, I've never learned how to pronounce his name, and I don't think I ever will or care to. For me, I'm like, why does anyone care? Why does he have any, he's not just some random podcaster anymore. He is the deputy director of the FBI. After the release of an email showing that he had been made aware of the Trump administration's sweeping redactions of the Jeffrey Epstein files on his second day in the job. He's the same age I am. He is 50 years old. Meanwhile, Bongino meltdown on Murdoch journalists who revealed FBI agents calling him a clown. Actually, I'm going to play this out. This is Suda Suda. Kash Patel gets absolutely smoked in shocking report for GOP-led committees. They're calling the FBI all fucked up, a rudderless ship. They're calling him insecure, and in over his head. An scathing report from current and former agents. That's being reported by People. That's being reported by The Independent, British News, The Independent. I should have subtitles enabled. Can you not see them? Yeah, subtitles are enabled. But thanks for asking. How are you doing tonight? Yeah, rudderless ship in over his head. None of it is good. And now we get to those. Those dubious pardons we talked about. Associated Press, former Honduras President Juan Orlando Hernandez freed after Trump pardon. Sentenced to 45 years in prison for his role in drug trafficking operation that moved tons of cocaine to the United States. This is the wildest example of how they are really trying to redefine what criminals are in very blatant terms. So we're going to pardon someone, because again, we were just reporting about how Elizabeth, I always want to say Theranos, that's not her last name, is it? That was the company. Elizabeth, whatever her name is, the Theranos with the fake thing, and people are like, why did she get all those years in prison?
she could have killed people. If that device had actually gone to market, that would have killed people. And she didn't care. She would have taken the money. That's why white collar crime is not harmless. Like, and again, we're not even talking about white collar crime in this. We're literally talking about drug trafficking, but we're talking about the highest levels of it. So pardon those people while also accusing Sabrina Carpenter of supporting pedophiles, because it all make sense. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see if there are any pickles going on tonight. Oof. I'm trying to find a song that doesn't have Diddy on it. This is Notorious Thugs featuring Bone Thugs and Harmony by B.I.G. I almost said Big Daddy Kane for some reason. Trump frees ex-private equity CEO 12 days after fraud sentence. And that's the other thing is what is the point of a legal system if individuals who don't like the outcomes can just and blatantly do so, and no one says anything, like no one has any criticism of that, like. Remember when pardons were saved for like literally the last day and they were like shameful? Like you kind of like snuck out of office, you signed a whole bunch of them and then snuck out of office. Bootsy. I think we do this every time. I don't think I have Bootsy, but I have Parliament member aligned music. Let me see what I can find. Michael Dell and the wife, though for some reason Yahoo Finance choose to leave her out of the headline, donate $6 billion to Trump's the accounts, the kids' accounts, which I guess is a real thing. Dell's donation will go to the U.S. Treasury, where in the year ahead it will be deposited in $250 increments into 25 million Trump accounts for children aged 10 and younger in low and middle income areas. I mean, as of right now, it just feels like it's just like a publicity stunt. It's just like a, and yeah, no. What do the experts say? The experts are saying like, well, I don't know. Free money's free money, but I don't know. Here in Washington, we have these education accounts for kids. There's nothing wrong with having government-run accounts, I guess. Putting Trump's name on it again feels more like branding and spin than it does about actually helping people. But whatever. We got Obamacare, so let them have Trump checks. Oh, and when I say we have Obama, I don't. Yes, no, yeah, yes. When I picture Bootsy, I just picture Bootsy in a giant diaper with oversized sunglasses and like George Clinton's like right next to him with like hair just rocking out. But I also, well, people have already speculated that
they're going to use these checks. At some point, only straight two-parent households will be eligible for the checks, or like they're going to use it. They're going to push it to use their agenda at some point, but they're going to wait till after the midterms. Right now, it's just free money for everyone, or at least that's how it's being presented. But also, specifically, not everyone. Free money to people having children. So let's, and the people having children who will sign up for Trump checks, which will not be liberals. So let's just speed up idiocracy, basically. Oh, that's what I was thinking. So in the days ahead, whenever we talk about Pete Hegseth and war crimes and all that, the right-wing talking point is going to be but Obama and drones. Those were actual enemy combatants until they prove evidence. These are fisher boats. These are fishermen in boats. Like you're not going to get. Those were, yes, did Obama order drone strikes? Did ultimately some of those drone strikes result in civilian deaths? Yes. Is that the same thing? Well, I don't know. Ask The Hague. But again, their favorite, the only language they speak is but whataboutism, but Obama and drones. You're going to hear tons of it in the next, I promise you. Yes. I'm sorry, back to Dell and dude, I guess I'm not getting a Dell. I mean, donating is great. Buying influence with the government and backdoor trying to do so with the American public, basically Dell's giving you money. It's none of this is how this should work. If you need people to know you donated money, that's not philanthropy, first of all. If you hold a press conference, that's not philanthropy. Am I going to play perfect? It might make me cry. I will play, but I will play. I will play perfect, but then I will play I'm Just a Kid to kind of cleanse the palate, because perfect is a lot. An unusually resonant song to be on an album called what is it called? No pads, no pads, no helmet, just balls. Simple Plan. And does anyone remember when the dude I'm Getting a Dell guy got busted for marijuana and then they dropped him? I actually never fully forgave Dell from that, because it was at a point, this was the mid-2000s, where they could have done the cool thing. First of all, his whole slogan was, dude, you're getting a Dell. They could have played major cool points in an industry, PCs, that don't always have a lot of cool points, by not firing him. Anyway. Fuck Dell. I guess is that my point being fuck Dell, but that... Marjorie Taylor Greene addressed rumors that her mom was running for president in 2028. Said no one ever. Marjorie Taylor Greene's daughter makes up rumors that her mom is running for president so that she could deny them, but no one has ever asked Marjorie Taylor Greene. No one has ever floated her name. This is actually not perfect. This is the end of one day. Oh. No, this is actually meet you there because I'm on the wrong side. Okay. What year is this? Is 2000? It was originally 2002. Wow, 2002. I don't think I realized that. BuzzFeed, y'all are not even subtle with your dog whistles here, how people are reacting to Department of Labor's recent post. Okay, there is someone at the Department of Labor who has like a serious Project 2025 like MAGA fetish. Like they're they're Make America Skilled Again with this like random AI generated Aryan recapture the dream. Like they've been doing like they were posting a bunch of like Norman Rockwell. Like they're really like. But okay, what I find wild about this is people seem to be responding to the wrong dog whistle. So this is the post that people are responding to. It has Abraham Lincoln, the statue. It says Americanism will prevail. So first of all, especially putting it in that old English font, Americanism will prevail makes it look a lot like Satanism. I don't know why, but that is a choice. And then a lot of people are freaking out because they're saying that's 11 stars and that's like Confederate or whatever. First of all, I do not have the time or energy to count the stars on U.S. Department of Labor posts, and I'm not sure how I feel about people who do. Debating whether or not Americanism as a word is a dog whistle. The fight for Western civilization has begun. Ding, 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 ding. That's the dog whistle, but I don't hear people calling that part out. They're counting the stars, and they're like, I mean, yeah, all of it's a dog whistle, and yeah, they've. Let's just hope at some point this individual they've put in charge of this count will go too far, and then like, yeah, it will be irrefutable. That being said, they will deny, and this person won't be fired. So, I mean, this is. They speak for their government. They were hired for a reason, and they speak for our government right now. Holy shit. Okay. This is Perfect by Simple Plan. Wait. Oh, no, okay. I was like, how is this? Are we... No, we're not... Like I said, this episode's a little bit all mixed up because big business has been buying their way into the government just pretty blatantly. And so, yeah, no, we're doing what feels like business news ahead of entertainment news, but then I do actually have some business and tech news. And then I will play the Parliament-adjacent music. Give me a second. According to Business Insider, Bernie Sanders and Zohran Mamdani joined the Starbucks picket line in Brooklyn. This is after the city Red Cup Rebellion. This is after Starbucks settled for $35 million with New York Starbucks employees. Is that right? 38.9 million over workers' rights violations, which is a record-setting settlement. Just a reminder that perfection is a dominant culture white supremacy value. Striving for perfection will make yourself miserable. Instead, strive for excellence. Strive for personal bests while also giving yourself grace. And the same is true for others. Give people grace. Strive, demand excellence of others, but not perfection. It's unattainable. BuzzFeed, Costco doing more to fight this administration than Hakeem Jeffries. President Donald Trump long insisted that other countries will eat the cost of the reciprocal tariffs he imposed this year. However, businesses have warned that tariffs will force them to raise prices, and now major American companies taking legal action. On Friday, Costco wholesale, boop, boop. Second only to grocery outlet Bargain Market in my heart. Filed a suit against the Trump administration for a full refund of tariffs paid under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. Costco lawyers argue that the tariffs Trump imposed are unlawful because the president does not have the authority to impose these import taxes. The Supreme Court is also looking into the legality of Trump's tariffs. Because of all the attention Costco got, I was actually surprised that to find out they were not the only company suing over tariffs, but they may be the largest. Other companies that have filed similar suits include Revlon, Ray-Ban manufacturers, Essilor, Luxottica. I will temporarily stop because they are currently suing the Trump administration. I guess I'll temporarily stop making fun of Ray-Ban Meta glasses. Though if you wear Ray-Ban Meta glasses, I will continue to call you a creeper. Like that shit's just creepy. Those are stalker glasses. I have nothing good to say about them. All right, give me 1 second. I didn't find what I was looking for, but so this is a local band called Kuik, and this is their last album featuring Bernie Worrell, who was one of the original Parliament Funkadelic keyboard players. This is their like an indigenous. This is called gifts. Oh wait, actually, this is called Courtroom of Thieves. Um, Jazz, funk, soul. More recent records have even incorporated elements of hip hop and metal. Bernie Worrell died in 2020, so this is his last album with them, but he's done. I'm sorry, I didn't even finish that list. Ray-Ban maker Essilor Luxottica, Bumblebee Foods, and Kawasaki Motors. Some people are not happy with Costco's suit. Just canceled my membership. But others are absolutely loving the energy. More energy like this from companies, please. Who loves Costco even more now? Everyone go get a Kirkland quarter zip and a fucking hot dog combo right now, right the hell now. I actually just got, I literally just unboxed it in a previous episode. I just got a Costco sweatsuit and I'm super happy with it.
Justice for we before the stars and stripes, before Columbus, before the oil dollar signs, right? We see our people falling in the streets. We know the most crooked gang on this land bound is the ones they call police. We see imaginary borders constructed to decrease. Indigenous history to land, sky, and seas. We see them take our youth, take our freedom, take our lives, take our scalps, take our rifles, identities, and tribes. See them hang their flags, track us and tax us with television news.
Oh, you know that's true, right? That scalping was not an indigenous practice. That was something that white people did to indigenous people, and then we're like, oh my god, can you believe they're scalping people, those fucking savages? Like, that is absolutely true. Just think about it. Whose culture, to this day, includes taking trophies of enemy combatants? Not indigenous folks. I think this is I warned you there were Elon Musk stories in this episode for those who can't stand him as much as I cannot. This is according to Fortune magazine. Okay, but this, to me, this is a fake Elon Musk story. Okay, Elon Musk said he warned Trump against tariffs, which U.S. manufacturers blame for turning off. Which U.S. manufacturers blame for a turn to more offshoring and diminishing American factory jobs. I don't know why Fortune chose to frame it as Elon Musk warned Trump, because first of all, everyone did. Everyone across every political spectrum, every actual economist, which Elon Musk is not and I am not, but even me on my tiny little YouTube channel was saying tariffs are a terrible idea. So why specifically give Elon Musk the credit? Second of all, at the time that Trump enacted tariffs, Elon Musk was like his second in command right-hand guy. So if you, like, how does he get credit for, I warned Trump? You were right there, and apparently you didn't warn him forcefully enough because you could have stopped him. Well, you didn't stop him. So, what? Yeah, it just seems weird that specifically he gets the credit. But I think the more important thing is of note is that even uneasy allies like Elon Musk are publicly and openly criticizing the tariffs now, and yeah, the momentum against them is growing. The flip side of that is they've made the government a lot of money. People Magazine. Apparently, Luigi Mangione is estranged from his family. I am estranged from much of my family, so I've mixed feelings about what I'm just choosing my words carefully. Yeah. I guess all I want to say is, he was never my hero, and I'm glad I never made him my hero, because I think you're going to find out that he's less a freedom fighting anti-hero and really more of just a troubled person who had personal grievances that he chose violence to act upon. Yeah, like I said, he's not my hero, and I feel like loners like him ruin it for loners like me. And again, I'm just glad I never made him my hero, so I don't have to be disillusioned. Is the healthcare system in America fucked? Is the insurance companies a huge part of that? Yes. Do individuals deserve to die? I will never co-sign that. It rubs me the wrong way when I see any references at a protest, because I guess you believe the same things I do, but I don't know. I mean, this is Ivan Neville with "Why Can't I Fall in Love" off of the Pump Up the Volume soundtrack. Pickles. No, I guess the other part of that that I don't. Oof. Typically, when someone's entire family doesn't speak to them, I'm thinking people like RFK. It's a sign. It's a sign, and yet I don't speak to most of my family, and I'm like, nope, they're still all wrong. This one, this is just, I don't know, human interest, and we'll get to some. Seen missing near Dracula's castle for 9 days after going on a hike and making an emergency call for hypothermia and exhaustion. And yeah, obviously, the part that probably jumped out at you, rightfully, is Dracula's castle? Yeah, British teenager George Smith has been missing. I always want to pronounce that as Smythe, but I think it's just Smith. Has been missing for 9 days after going on a solo hike. our missing teen, and that's tragic, or potentially, well, that's bad, but not necessarily worldwide newsworthy. The 18-year-old set off on a hike towards the village of, I believe this is pronounced Bran, is that right? B-R-A-N, Bran, in Romania, where Dracula's rumored home is located. Smith's mother said her son made a distressing call to emergency services before his disappearance. Yeah, I don't know. I guess missing teen is tragic. I don't know. Do what you can to help find him, but I guess Dracula's castle is probably the part that made that internationally newsworthy. Because there are teens missing all around the world right now. I watched a documentary called Deprogrammed, and it was all about the the sometimes really aggressive deprogramming and often ineffective. Um, okay, did I just say effective and ineffective? Sometimes illegal, kidnappings came up a lot, very confrontational, but the deprogramming techniques that they used in the 70s, none of which are rooted in any kind of clinical. What made me think of that? Pump Up the Volume, Christian Slater, Samantha Mathis, a movie largely forgotten, mostly because it's not available on any streaming service, though if you're really curious, you can check it out from Scarecrow Video. They do nationwide DVD rentals. This is Kill Thy Father, Rape Thy Mother by G.G. Allen. Off of Brutality and Bloodshed for All. Oh, HuffPost. Jimmy Fallon's crack about Melania Trump's Christmas decorations draw gas. I wasn't going to talk about this at all because, again, I don't give a shit about their Christmas decorations. The thing, like, people go, like, crash out on all, like, every aspect of. I don't care about their appearance. I don't care about their. Every time I see a picture of Dan Bongino, I am tempted to make a comment about the size of a particular aspect of his appearance, but his words and his beliefs are what to hate him about, not his appearance.
That one time they decorated with those like blood red trees, that was wild. I do think they learned their lesson. I was not going to talk about this year's Christmas decorations because it literally is, regardless of what she does, the left are going to bash her for it. Rightfully, because she is complicit to Donald Trump. But it's the decorations aren't the issue. For the record, this year I think they look fine. They like I said, after that blood red year where they tried to be really dramatic, that was during his first term. I think they've mostly played it safe. Jimmy Fallon's joke was basically they should do an advent calendar and release an Epstein name every year. Haha, that's funny. Usha Vance seen again without her wedding ring. I don't care. Cheryl Hines appearing with Melania Trump and Usha Vance more and more. Like, I think, yeah, no, and complaining that Larry David won't talk to her. But I think she realizes she's burned her bridges in Hollywood prime, and now she has, I don't know what, like Great American Family and like Christian, like whatever she's gonna do now with, and she'll still get work, but it's her career has shifted and appearing with it's leaning into, not leaning away from being RFK Jr.'s wife is where she's at right now. I think this is what I want to play. Let's find out. It's something by Sabrina Carpenter.
I said I wanted 10 months, and you said you knew a guy. You showed up with a boombox and stars in your eyes.
This wasn't what I meant to play, but I'm digging it. It fits my mood right now. Hope it fits yours.
So reckless. We bonded over black-eyed peas and complicated exes. Fell so deeply into it. It was all so innocent.
Again, another album that doesn't have liner notes. That's like the modern thing to do. So I don't know the name of this song, but see internet. No. I just won't know the name of the songs. But I'm assuming some of these youngin' artists, they're not even planning for you to listen to this record. This is a collectible to put on your wall, right? You're just going to stream it and listen to it on that anyway. In fact, that's what they would prefer because that ups their streaming. So they want you to buy their record. That helps sales. Or buy a t-shirt, which includes a free streaming, which is a record sale, which is counted as a record sale. But they don't want you to actually listen on the vinyl, which is why they won't put line. Yeah. Anyway, I have strong feelings. Disney. The headline made it seem more Entertainment Weekly. Disney permanently removes Aerosmith from Rock and Roll Coaster pre-show, and I was like, oh, is this finally? Are we actually going to have some accountability for that time Steven Tyler like took a 12-year-old on tour and basically like, I'm pretty sure, is that Steven Tyler or is that someone else? I think multiple artists did this in the 70s. Basically got a parent to sign guardianship rights over so that they could take a minor on tour to have sex with them. I'm pretty sure Steven Tyler did that, just saying. No, it's not accountability for that. There's no accountability for things like that. Why would that Why would that be disqualifying from participating in a children's amusement park thing? No, it actually has nothing to do with that. So, okay, apparently it's a, yeah, the coaster itself, which opened in 1999, and I'm assuming this video is from that. This isn't what I meant to,
We've been talking for hours, but we shouldn't talk for hours on end. Kissing after a conversation about how we'd probably be better off as friends.
yeah, ahead of the ride's transformation into Muppet-themed roller coaster set to open in 2026, the Orlando, Florida resort has permanently removed a guest favorite presentation starring Steven Tyler-fronted band, as well as a young Ken Marino and Ileana Douglas, which that's so specifically places, like, that is 1999. Yeah, and I don't know why that's, yeah. That played before visitors entered the indoor area. Basically, that area is now under construction. That's why it has nothing to do with, I know why they're framing it as like, they took away your Aerosmith. The coaster itself, which opened in 1999, will remain open, though the pre-show area will no longer operate as crews work to bring a new presentation featuring Kermit, Scooter, and the adorable penguin animatronics from the former Muppet Vision 3D show that closed earlier this year at Hollywood Studios, and the Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem Band. Oh, but also that's all Disney. Yeah, well, it is a Disney store, I think. Muppet Vision 3D, show, which recently closed, opened in 1991 and was one of the final projects of Jim Henson that he worked on before his death in 1990. The video, which introduced the video that you can no longer watch, introduced the ride's story and saw guests drop in on an Aerosmith recording session before zooming through busy highways to make it to a concert, has been nixed from the attraction, so the construction workers again. And then the new Muppet thing, the Muppets Edition Rock and Roller Coaster sees Electric Mayhem crew headlining their biggest Hollywood concert yet, with guests embarking on a search for the group when they go missing. I feel like I play this every episode these days, and that's okay. Some songs can be in maximum rotation, but this is like a holdover from, I know we're moving into Christmas. We already passed through Thanksgiving, but I'm still Halloween all year. This is O Fortuna, the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra and Chorus. This song lives rent-free in my head. Is the end of Dragula. I don't have a really dramatic story to go with this. Apologies. Yeah, that's the other disclaimer. I don't usually do as much. I think people have caught to the format of this channel now. Yeah, the music, the carpet doesn't always match the drapes. The music doesn't always match. Oh, I need to fucking shave. Yeah, the tone of the music doesn't always match the subject of the story, and I have the order that I plan to play, and then sometimes people make requests, or I think of another song or whatever, and I add that to the playlist. But that is completely irrespective. There have been times where I've tried to match it to it doesn't work. So, or at least I can't make it work. They're reporting that Daisy, oh my God, the picture they used for that. No. They're reporting that Daisy Ridley's Star Wars comeback is already dead. I reported this as fact, but I guess it was just rumor. But okay. I guess the new movie is called Starfighter. I have no feelings about this. Sean Levy, who's been a very busy man recently after directing Deadpool and Wolverine, he's been directing episodes of Stranger Things and now directing Starfighter. Confirms that things didn't align with the intended ending, which I guess was not ever confirmed, but strongly reported to a point where I thought I was reporting it as fact that Daisy Ridley was returning to Star Wars, but as Rey. But I guess the ending, which was forced. Things didn't align with the intended ending, so he was forced to come up with a new idea. He insisted the new idea, which he is currently shooting, is so much better than the original idea. Well, we always think that, don't we? This is Bad Things by Jack Everett, aka the theme from True Blood. I miss that show. Off of Now That's What I Call Halloween. But his update has some sequel trilogy fans thinking that Rey's that's a capitalized thing now. Sequel trilogy is its own. Okay, thinking that Rey's possible appearance in Starfighter just got quietly canceled. How did the fandom become convinced that Rey was going to pop up in Starfighter in the first place? There have been strong rumors, which I've written about before, that the upcoming film was going to have a big cameo at the end of the film that was intended to set up a new Star Wars trilogy. Meanwhile, there were other rumors that the basic plot of the movie is that Ryan Gosling plays a pilot who must escort his Force-sensitive nephew, played by Flynn Gray, to escape from multiple villains who are hunting them across the galaxy far, far away. I don't know, but that The fandom basically combined these rumors and concluded that Gosling's character is bringing his nephew to someone who can train him in the ways of the Force, since Luke Skywalker, who other rumors claim might be the father of this new Padawan, is dead. Rey is basically the only person in the galaxy who can train the young man. Therefore, the general assumption is that Rey would pop up at the end of Starfighter, and then we'll see the nephew's story continue in the new Jedi Order film trilogy. The trilogy has seemingly been stuck in production hell. Remember when development hell was the only hell you could be stuck in Hollywood? But now you can get greenlit and still be stuck in hell. Sounds. I wanted to do that. I wanted that to be my profession. Have I mentioned how much I love my job? 10 years. 10 years going strong. This is Don't Tell Me, the Timo Moss remix by Madonna off of Music. I think, well, the remix isn't off of Music, but I think Don't Tell Me is originally off of Music. It's a uniquely colored vinyl. You're like, it's blue. No, it's, well, yeah, I don't know what you're saying, but it's a specific shade of blue that I don't see a lot. In vinyl, not necessarily in the world. It's actually like Jolly Rancher blue raspberry blue, but yeah, I don't know how to. Is this a 45? I don't feel like that is right. Let's find out. I don't feel like that's right. But I also feel okay with speeding through a 6-minute remix just to like get to like. Holy shit, some of these remixes are even longer. I'm not a big fan of long remixes. Like you're not adding value with a bunch of like sure, you basically added like 10 minutes of intro, but that's I'm literally good with fast forwarding through that. Don't Tell Me by Madonna. Oh no! But it's not even just that. Okay. The director merely said that because again, all of this is fan speculation, and that's what I need to realize and not report as facts. All he said was things didn't align. That could potentially mean that Disney canceled the Rey cameo. It could also be an indication that they have officially canceled the new Jedi Order. Remember, Disney has a long history of announcing and canceling Star Wars projects. There's going to be a new trilogy directed by so-and-so. Oh no, so-and-so was completely exited for creative differences. And again, I love that that's the image. when you emoted so effectively, it got turned into a meme, and now it's just a joke. But at the time, it genuinely was a sincere, emotional moment. Okay, let's talk about Scarlett Johansson supporting Woody Allen. It turns out it was a while ago. Let's not. Let's just not. Let's just. Anyway, but she's still talking about it. She's okay. We have a date on this picture. Yeah, just a reminder that Scarlett Johansson supports Woody Allen and said, I believe him. I had forgotten this. Like, I had genuinely forgotten this. Oh, and then while we're ripping Marvel actresses, Gwyneth Paltrow gave, was it Jacob Elordi? Who was her, no, Timothy, whoever her co-star was, skincare tips, not realizing they were wearing like bad skin makeup. The list of things Gwyneth Paltrow is not aware of is quite long. Okay, did I just, I'm confused what I'm doing. Just as a reminder, she doesn't even know which Marvel movies she's in. Like, she's surprised to find herself. Like, she's like, I'm in that? And you're like, yeah, you're in that. I'm not like that. The talk show host is like, yeah, you're in that movie. So I had the meeting with my supervisor. I still have to, I still want to talk to her about the zygo cactuses because we have that in common. And chipmunks, which I didn't know we have in common, but we do. Am I just going to play Off to See the World again? This girl's a rock and roll. And I'm going to play some more Joan Jett for sure. According to Us Weekly, Scarlett Johansson's biggest bomb is now Netflix's newest hit movie in December. It's The Island. I highly stand behind this movie. Actually, yeah, if you're not so disgusted with Scarlett Johansson that you're just like, she's canceled forever. The 2005 Michael Bay directed, Steven Spielberg executive produced The Island, starring Johansson and Ewan McGregor. In fact, I will watch it right now. That is a good movie. I like that movie. I enjoyed it. I've watched it multiple times. In fact, so I was, at the time that this movie came out, I was in an extremely toxic, unhappy home life situation. And so I was spending as much time as possible away from home. And I had this Symbian phone. This is like way before Android. But I didn't mean to buy this. But basically just, and again, this is like pre-smartphones. But yeah, no, I had this fancy phone that could play like pretty good video, and then I got these files, and it was like the most pixelated version of because they had to condense them down to like it was a bunch of bootlegs. I didn't mean to buy bootlegs, but I thought I was buying legal, but it was a bunch of bootlegs, including bootleg games, bootleg music, and bootleg movies. I didn't install the bootleg games or the music because I was suspicious of them, but the videos were they were these compressed, which is again why it was super pixelated. Um, and I would just watch The Island over and over on my little phone and not going home because I didn't want to go home. Gonna rock and roll. They really put their heart into that, and that just got edited. I mean, they made it on the record, but it was like put in the tail out. Um, but yeah, whoever the session musician who performed that was like, I'm gonna make your love so sweet. Um, Me, every time I hear Sugar Sugar, I'm sorry, which one is Betty or Veronica Black? Because that is not a white person singing. There is not a reality where that is a white person singing. Um, this is Cherry Bomb by Joan Jett and the Black Hearts. I don't have any energy for this. If we're recording Variety, Quentin Tarantino names his 20 best films, and they're all directed by fucking white guys, like as predicted. Not well, almost all of them. Sofia Coppola makes the list. Chocolate by, yeah. Anyway, almost exclusively all white guys and almost exclusively bad picks. Even when he's right, he's wrong. Edgar Wright is an amazing director. Shaun of the Dead is not his best movie. Shaun of the Dead might be Simon Pegg's best movie, but that's a different category. Shaun of the Dead is absolutely not Edgar Wright's best movie. Let me know what you think his best movie is in the comments, because I know what I think. Well, I know what's true. I'm kidding. What I think is my opinion, and I know what's true is my opinion is purely my own. Other people who think their opinions are facts just reveal themselves very publicly to be confused. Cherry Bomb. Cherry Bomb. Ch. Oh, if it doesn't know what you're saying, you won't even try at all. Is that right? Cherry Bomb. Cookie Cat. I don't know why that. Oh my god. I'm gonna play one more by Joan Jett and the Black Hearts. This is Do You Want to Touch Me? When they make RFID, when they make AirTags or like the Android equivalent of AirTags, flat enough that they're not a plastic encased. Oh, you could take them out of their case, right? I want to buy. I want to buy thousands of AirTags and attach them to every record in my collection. If I were a millionaire, that would be the first thing I would do. Other than, yeah. Speaking of directors I'm not a huge fan of, also Variety, but directors I have a lot more respect for than Quentin Tarantino for reasons, but also coincident. But also uncoincident. I don't know what's the opposite of coincidentally. But also, oh shit. Anyway, Avatar, Fire and Ash and Fire, whatever, is apparently really good visually. Boo boo boo! It's amazing. I have a strong feeling I watched the second Avatar, that I checked it out on video from the library, and it was as unmemorable as the first one. I don't know why there's no emotional hook for me in these movies. They already lost me on the basic premise. It felt colonizing. And yeah, no, none of it. It ain't Terminator 2. He was originally set to direct Terminator 3. Actually, Rise of the Machines? No, Salvation. Whatever Terminator 3 is, actually that's the Claire Danes off-row. I actually really like that. That's one of my favorite Terminator movies, low-key. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for reading you. Boop, boop. Um, I love how Karma and Duke like competed for my affection and then just both disappeared. Like both just jetted on me. Like again, at some point I was like, wait, why can I breathe? Oh, because I don't have a cat. I'm like I don't. Yeah. Nonetheless, yeah. This is felines. This goes out to Karma and Luna and Nevada. Oh, Christopher, Sabrina, Priscilla, Eddie, fucking Eddie. Um, this felines by Front 242. It goes at Baggy too. I never bonded. I lived with a cat that I never bonded with, but did I try? Weird times. It goes out to Aaron Hunter fans as well. If you know, you know. Daniel Stern explains why he won't be at any Home Alone anniversary events. Exclusive. He's now a citrus farmer and a cattle rancher. Millie Bobby Brown. Also, I guess her and I'm sorry. Millie Robin Brown Jovi? No. Millie. I don't know. She has a new last name now. Anyway, I guess they're farmers in Georgia now. But yeah, no. Daniel Stern, who is half of the Wet Bandits, along with Joe Pesci from the Home Alone, some of the Home Alone movies. Says he mostly stays out of the limelight. I don't leave my farm. It's no offense to the movie. I'm just a phone call, a Zoom call. I'm in, but I'm a bit of a homebody. Me too, Daniel. Stern's character Marv, a hapless criminal who, along with Joe Pesci's Harry, robbed Chicago area homes, culminating in a hilarious attempt to rob the home of Kevin McAllister, played by Macaulay Culkin, after he had been left home alone at Christmas. 68 years old. Okay, no. I actually knew someone who lived in Daniel Stern's brownstone on the Upper West Side before Home Alone, but while he was filming. While he was doing the voiceovers for the Wonder Years. What's weird is, week after week after week, they flew him out to Hollywood to do that. There aren't recording studios, but I guess but I guess I don't know. I'm thinking studio timelines. If they had recorded in New York and then because we didn't have the internet to send high quality sound immediately like you can now, but they could have shipped a tape from New York to, and I'm assuming they taped the episodes far enough in advance that they didn't need. I don't know. No, I have no idea. Why did it make more sense for Daniel Stern to choose to stay in? Well, eventually he did move to Hollywood, and I remember when he moved. They're like, he moved. That was Felines by Front 242. Why did it make more sense for them to fly him to LA week after week to record audio, like only audio? Like, and again, we didn't have, like, they can record that shit over the phone now. But we didn't have any of that technology. Oh. for those of you who were wondering, yeah, no, for those of you for whom it was a big mystery, what Edgar Wright movie do I think is the best? There's no.
There's Sex Bomb with We Are Sex Bomb. In any event, they said Daniel Stern was a really nice guy. I think I didn't meet him, but we would hang out on their steps. Once they said Daniel Stern lives in our building, we would just hang out on their steps waiting for him to come out. And I think one day he did. And that might be an implanted memory. I used to think my memory was infallible, but it is fallible. Highly fallible. Oh, but Daniel Stern. City Slickers 2. Anytime I think of Daniel Stern, I think that was my second degree of separation because they filmed that in New Mexico while I was living there. And it was almost like, Daniel Stern, stop following me. Oh. Okay. Wow. This is just me ranting and rambling now. Rebecca Gayhart was the Noxema girl. I met her outside of a Tower Video on 67th Street and Broadway and said, "Aren't you the Noxema girl?" And she was like, "Yeah." And then, but it was my first experience where I thought I was like, I'm excited to meet you. But she had, like, actors aren't necessarily proud of being in advertisements unless you're like, but she was just, I mean, that commercial was as like, I was like, I don't know. Anyway, she was not excited to be identified. And I realized that, like, oh. Wait, I need to look this up. Was Rebecca Gayhart on Earth 2, which they filmed at my college in New Mexico, like literally on my college campus. Yep. No, okay. No, this is all real. No, okay. I can picture. So the Greer Garson Studios at the College of Santa Fe doesn't exist anymore. I don't know what we're listening to. Yeah, I ended up like having an interaction with her, and she was looking for something, and I was like, I don't know where that thing is, and that was it. And but I remember we were in a hallway, and there was like a student artwork that had like it was like a lit. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, I've met Rebecca Gayhart twice in two different cities. I did not meet Daniel Stern any times. The first time, if that is a real memory that we actually saw him after hours and hours and hours or days of waiting. Like, I think he's in town this weekend. Because that was happening more and more after bragging. I live in the same building with Daniel Stern. He actually wasn't there. They're like, oh, he's in LA all the time. But we waited around, and I swear we actually showed up. That being said, I had no interaction with him on on the when he filmed City Slickers, though he would have filmed that at least in part on a ranch outside of New Mexico near where I was living. Rebecca Gayhart, I literally walked up to and was like, "You're the Noxema girl," and she was like, "Yeah," and and I was like, "Oh, I'm that, cool," and that's cool. But yeah, anyway, and then several a couple of years later on the College of Santa Fe campus, while she would have been filming Earth 2, a TV series, I was a student. She was lost somewhere and asked me how to find something that I didn't know. So that's those are my celebrity interactions. This is Threshold by Sex Bomb. We are Sex Bomb, and we're here to make you something. That was the end of Black Sheep by Metric.
We are Sex Bob, and we're here to make you think about death and get sad and stuff.
Guess who's back? Back again. Karma's back. Tell a friend. I was playing like okay. The Tuvik's Dilemma. The episode where Tuvok and Neelix get combined. This is Star Trek Voyager. Did Janeway commit murder? Is Broken Social Scene? Anthems for a 17-year-old girl.
And as always, Karma's not here for me or my body heat. She's just here for the lasers. It is according to Entertainment Weekly. Jesus actor says life blog atheists are converting to Christianity after watching his show. According to Jonathan Rooney, The Chosen season 5 started, I guess. Yeah, this is on Amazon. Is that right? Every so often I randomly go to DMs on Instagram, for instance, because that's the platform I'm most active on, and I will just pick 2 different people, and both of these people that wrote me happen to have been lifelong atheists and never had any interest in God. Rooney told the daytime talk show host, this is on The View, and somehow somebody sent them the show, and all of a sudden it's like the first episode just kind of grabs a hold of you, and if God wants to, he will find you, he will follow you, he will go after you. Okay, this guy's an actor, not a theologian, but so So if God didn't put the chosen into my life, then I guess he doesn't. I'm not chosen. This guy literally is drinking his own Kool-Aid. He thinks, yeah, if you're watching my show, then you're, yeah, I don't know whatever. I mean, he looks the part of white Jesus. Is under my thumb by you know who. OG version. This is actually the Rolling Stones. Usually I play the Social Distortion cover. Through the process of the show, sorry, I'm not shouting at you, Karma, but you're standing right next to the microphone, just FYI. I think she understood that. Through the of the show, they became interested in the Bible, and then they started going to church, and they have both converted to Christianity. Lifelong atheists. To me, that's remarkable. To me, the fascinating thing is that I like how she left for the cat line. Cats will not be slandered. This is exactly like the reality that like our current government is trying to create. Oh, former adult at Fox News, former adult star Jenna Jameson shares before and after chasing Jesus weight loss photos. First of all, that's not Jesus, that's Ozempic. I'm sorry. Like I hate to be that like blunt and that like arguably possibly like fat shaming, but I've seen the before and afters, and that's not Jesus, that's Ozempic. I've had a lot of positive things to say about Jenna Jameson, but I don't feel like I do anymore. Let's just, yeah. Am I gonna? No, we're not gonna play the whole Scott Pilgrim soundtrack tonight, but we could. Is Cry Little Sister by Gerald McMahon off of the Lost Boys soundtrack. Fuck. Okay, this is the worst. Every time I'm like, yeah, no, there's no headline that can ever be worse than any other headline. Toddlers killed at a birthday party. Like yeah, no, I've reported on a lot of things, but this is the worst entertainment news I've had to report in a long time. Dave Coulier reports he has tongue cancer, his second diagnosis in a year after beating non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Oh. The worst thing I've ever heard, the worst thing I've ever known a child to do while not intending to do it a child whose mother developed lymphoma started calling her mother Foma, and I have this very vivid memory of her mom picking her up and being in a fragile state from all the treatments that are associated with having cancer, and the child just being like, "Shut up, Foma," and I was like, but also kids are so mean. Like kids are so naturally mean. That's what's weird about kids are just like, it's just like the reason empathy has to be taught is because this is my experience of working with birth through 5 children. Cruelty is innate. Cruelty, you don't have to teach cruelty. Cruelty comes naturally, but kindness anyway. Oh, I don't know if this is entertainment or business news. Martha Stewart has a new prefab home connection. Free? Words. According to Realtor.com, Martha Stewart has a new prefab home collection. Prices starting at $150K up to $450K. They're shells, and if you look at them, they're all basically the same house, but they're based on different houses she'd lived in over the years, whatever. Oh, this one was disappointing because, I don't know, if you're a huge BD Wong fan like I am, BD Wong made a joke. He's made several apologies. He even acknowledged, even trying to explain he just full-throated apology. I love BD Wong, but the people are strange by Echo and the Bunnymen. Produced by Ray Manzarek, who I believe also performs keyboards on this version. Doors cover. In any event, I was like, I'm trying to gloss over it because it's uncomfortable, but this is literally the headline of this episode. Wrong answers only. A black man posted an image of themselves with an animal, and BD Wong in a, I get it, I actually get the joke, said that appears to be a black man, not realizing he was comparing, or he was suggesting that a black man is an animal. I stand with BD Wong. No, what the fuck, BD? Oh, super wrong. Oh, also his use of capitalization. I love that he starts things off with y'all. That's very me too. Acknowledged. I deleted for damage control. No, his super dumb. The wrongest answer. This only succeeded in being super wrong. I know nobody gets a free pass. I'm sorry if this. What the fuck, BD? WFBD was the hashtag that he acknowledged. Moment tarnished any respect you may have for me. Thanks, and if you advocate for an internet that is safe. I love BD Wong. You can't convince me otherwise. People make mistakes, but again, is that just me carving out exceptions? 'Cause no, this is me leaning into. Yeah, you got things wrong once. What's so ironic? Every time white supremacists push up against cancel culture, what they're actually pushing up against is white supremacy. There's no reason anyone should have to be perfect. Mistakes should be celebrated, but you're not. You're not encouraging. Excuse me. Socio-emotional understanding. You're not pushing forgiveness, and that's why you're not receiving it. I mean, it's like, excuse me. Like she got summoned, huh? Because we just played this. And I would totally play it again. But we literally just played this. Hi, Carmsy. Oh, it's weird how she thought. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that wasn't part of the pet report. But Duke knows which room I'm going to be in. So I let the pets out. Who let the pets out? Me too. And then they both came back in. And then Daisy ran right into the room, and Duke stood in the doorway, and I was like, in or out? I was like, what the fuck? And then he left because he knew I was doing a show. He knew I wasn't hanging out in that room. But it's interesting that. Hi, Boo. All right, go for it. I know you're looking at that shoulder. This is Walking Papers by Booker T. Jones, From the Road to Memphis. Wong made two distinct apology posts. in which he said he intended not to make excuses for his inappropriate joke. The comments of the post featured a mix of users who accepted his apologies and others who did not. Valid. Lori Loughlin to return to When the Heart... Oh, TV line, When Calls the Heart Shocker. Lori Line to return as Abigail. She actually returned to... When Hope Calls. I guess, you know, here's the part I'm always like, it's not about who gets canceled, because people should, yeah, and no offense, Hallmark, but you made a decision. It just feels really wishy-washy. Like, they didn't do any, we were working with this actress, it was just, we cut all ties. We literally edited her episode, her scenes out of episodes. Welcome back. I don't know. But also, the person who played her kid, a child actor, lost work. And then, yeah, this isn't even new. Her episodes won't appear until 2027, so I guess I'm going to be reporting this for at least the next 2 years. Yeah, me too, come on. Yeah, me too. This is The Bronx featuring Lou Reed. Season 3 drops Sunday, January 4th at 8 p.m. We'll see the return of another series vet, Brooke Shields, in a 3-episode arc. To me, there's something really disingenuous about firing her when that wasn't economically viable and then rehiring her when it is. But that's for her. That's for her to work out. Oh, I thought also Variety. What the fuck are you doing? Charlie Puth responds to backlash over singing the national anthem at the Super Bowl. It'll be one of my best vocal performances. I didn't think the backlash was... Alongside Coco Jones and Brandi Carlile, who will sing Lift Every Voice and Sing and America the Beautiful, respectively. So we're still doing we're still doing Black Anthem. Yeah, Coco Jones singing "Lift Every Voice and Sing" at an NFL game. That's some DEI shit. Sorry if you hate it. Oh, and really the criticism, it wasn't political at all because the Super Bowl has become so politicized, particularly the halftime and the music of Bad Bunny and all that. No, it literally is. We don't think Charlie Puth can sing the national anthem. Um, oof. I Man, we've fallen from when Whitney Houston sang at the Super Bowl. Charlie Puth, he's not going to give us vocals, I'm afraid, said Link Lauren. Charlie Puth. I'll never claim to be as good as of a singer as Whitney Houston ever was, but I assure you we're all putting in a really special arrangement together in D minor. I know why that's funny. It'll be one of my best vocal performances. I know why why I think it's funny that do you like my stole? Is Banana Splits by I think I don't know what this is, but I'm playing it. Tang Records. The position that Karma has chose to relax in, you is that's like pulling on my neck, but we're good. Okay, so far so good. Do you like my decor? Are you jumping down? Are you good? I want to make you a clear path.
He's paranoid. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're getting into tech news, boring but important. Also, according to Variety, though, excuse me. Wherever I'm playing it. Paramount Skydance's latest bid for Warner Brothers Discovery, backed by three Middle Eastern wealth funds. And by Middle Eastern, I'm pretty sure we mean Saudi, but I can't prove that. But let's just say that that's what we're doing. This is an AI that's literally just a cat growing out of my head. That happens sometimes. I get cats and they're just growing out of my head. Instagram CEO calls staff back to the office 5 days a week to build a quote-unquote winning culture. Reminder, Instagram is owned by Facebook, and yeah, warrior ethos, fuck women, like what, oh yeah, no, all, yeah, while canceling every recurring meeting. These are Coin of Fortune. That's interesting. Yeah, I, well, I wait until July. I wait until June to cancel all recurring meetings, and then restart them again. But according to Bloomberg, Samsung.
Well, according to Bloomberg, but also facts. Hi, Boop. Hi, Boop. This is Harness Your Hopes by. I was Pavement. I was like, oh yeah, I always want to say Pavement, and that's because it's by Pavement. Oh shit, me seeing Aurora and forgetting that I saw Aurora. This doesn't feel right. Yeah, Bloomberg, Samsung debuts first triphone phone ahead of iPhones. Who wants this shit? And I'm thinking about around the time that I was buying like the most cutting edge phones, like the Island, 2005. Um, I wanted 3D phones, and then buy like I don't know a few years later. Who wants 3D phones? I did. I was so mad they stopped making 3D phones, but that was a feature they thought you wanted. Um, Folding phones still continues to be a niche market, but they're trying to push it on everyone. Yeah. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being you. And being the best version of you you can be today. Because again, let's talk about perfectionism. If the best version of you was not the best version of you, try again tomorrow. It's okay. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being you. Boop, boop.